Here's a lesson on the equation of a line in slope-intercept form. The slope-intercept form of a linear equation looks like this: y equals mx plus b. The relationship between the x and y values of all of the points that make up any line can be modeled algebraically with an equation of this format, where the m value being multiplied by the x is the slope of the line, the b value, which is being added after, is the y-intercept of the line, and this x and y just represent all the ordered pairs xy that are on the line. And also remember, a linear relationship is a relationship between two variables where the rate of change is constant. And the rate of change, or slope, can be calculated using this formula here. And in each version of the formula that we see here, all that we're doing to calculate the slope is finding what's the change in y and dividing that by what's the change in x. Graphically, we can just count the rise and the run, or if we have a table of points, we can follow this formula, y2 minus y1 over x2 minus x1. That just finds how does y change as x changes, and we call that the slope, and use the letter m to represent it. So let's go into the first section of this lesson where we determine an equation of a line from its graph. To find the equation of a line from its graph, we're going to follow these 4 steps. Start by finding 2 points that are on the line from the graph. We'll have our first point, which we'll label x1, y1, and our second point, which we'll label x2, y2. And if you can, try and find points that are lattice points, meaning the x and y coordinates are both integers. And then after we have the points, we can calculate the slope, m, by using the formula rise over run, or algebraically, we can do y2 minus y1 over x2 minus x1. They would both get us the same answer. Next, we find the y-intercept, b, by seeing where the line crosses the y-axis. If for some reason it's not clear what the y-intercept is, you may have to sub in some other xy point into y equals mx plus b, and then solve for b. And lastly, we write the final equation by substituting in m and b into y equals mx plus b, and then we end up with an equation that defines the relationship between all the x and y values of all of the points that make up the line. So let's go ahead and try these steps with our first example here. Example 1 says write the equation of the following lines in slope-intercept form. If I look at A, remember step 1 is to find 2 points that are on the line. So my first point, I'll label x1, y1, and the second point, I'll label its coordinates x2, y2. And now I can use those 2 points to calculate my slope. And we use the letter m to represent slope. And to find the slope, I can use the formula y2 minus y1 over x2 minus x1. Subbing into this formula, y2 minus y1 would be 4 minus 0, and x2 minus x1 would be 4 minus 2. That simplifies to 4 over 2, which is 2. The slope, or rate of change, is 2. And really what happened when we do y2 minus y1 and get 4, we're really just counting the rise between the 2 points. So to get from point 1 to point 2, I would have to go up 4 units, which is why the rise was 4. And then I would have to run 2 units to the right, which is why the calculated run was 2. So this formula is really just rise over run. And now that I have the slope, the next thing that I need is the y-intercept. So where does this line cross the y-axis? Well, notice it crosses the y-axis right here. At this point, 0, negative 4. So the y-intercept, which we use the letter b to represent, is equal to the y-coordinate of where it crosses the y-axis, which in this case is negative 4. And now that I have my m and my b values, I can write the final answer. I can write the equation of this line. So into y equals mx plus b, I can replace the m value with 2 and the b value with negative 4. And that gives me my final answer of y equals 2x minus 4 as the equation of this line. For any point that is on this line, doubling the x-coordinate and then subtracting 4 makes it equal to the y-coordinate. And now let's try another one. Let's try part B. Once again, we start by finding 2 points that are on this line. Those are good points. They're both lattice points because the x and y coordinates are both integers. And now to find the slope, which we use the letter m to represent. Last time I did the version of the slope formula, y2 minus y1 over x2 minus x1, but I showed you that's equivalent to just counting the rise and the run, so let's just use rise over run for this one. To get from my first point to my second point, let me zoom in a bit. I would have to go down 2 units, and then I would have to go to the right 3 units. And remember, for rise and run, if we're counting in the downward direction, that's a negative rise. So my rise is -2. And then for the run, counting in a direction to the right is a positive run. So my run is +3, which means my slope is -2 over 3. And then the y-intercept, we use the letter b for the y-intercept, and the b value is equal to the y-coordinate of where it crosses the y-axis. So where does this line cross the y-axis? Well, we already have that point labeled, that point right there, the point 0,3. So the y-intercept is 3, meaning our b value is 3. So I can write my final equation of this line. Into y equals mx plus b, I can replace the m with -2/3 and the b value with 3. And there's my final answer. There's the equation of that line. Y equals -2/3 x plus 3. Now let's move on to the next section of the lesson where we find the equation of a line from its table of values. To find the equation of a line from its table of values, the steps are very similar to when we do it from a graph. We start by identifying 2 points that are on the line from the table. Our first point is x1, y1. Our second point is x2, y2. But because we don't have a graph to count the rise and the run, when calculating the slope, we'll have to use this formula, y2 minus y1 over x2 minus x1. And that will be our m value, our slope. Next, we find the y-intercept. We can find it by looking at the table for the value of y when x is 0. Right? Any point on the y-axis has an x-coordinate of 0. So just look in your table. When x is 0, what's y? And if x equals 0 isn't in the table, substitute a point in for x, y, and m, and then solve for b. And then write the final equation by subbing in m and b into y equals mx plus b. So for example 2, writing the equation of the line and slope intercept form, from this table we see in example 2a, I have to start by picking any 2 points. I'll pick this as my first point, -6/16, so that's my first x and my first y. And then how about I pick -2,6 as my second point? So that's my x2, y2. And then I can calculate the slope, which we use the letter m to represent, by doing y2 minus y1 over x2 minus x1. So in my formula, y2 minus y1 is 6 minus 16, divided by x2 minus x1 would be -2 minus -6. And that gives me -10 over 4. And then you should always simplify your slope. So if we have -10 over 4, 2 divides evenly into both of those numbers, divide top and bottom by 2, gives us -5 over 2. And next, I can find my y-intercept by looking for when x is 0, what's y? Well, this point right here, the point 0,1, is on the y-axis. So my y-intercept, my b value, is the value of y that corresponds to when x is 0. Well, when x is 0, y is 1, so my b value, my y-intercept, is 1. So my final answer, my equation of this line, into y equals mx plus b, replace the m with -5 over 2, and replace the b with 1. So there's the equation that represents the linear relationship shown in this table. Take any of these x values, multiply them by -5 over 2, and then add 1, and that will equal its corresponding y value. Now on to part B. Same thing, start by picking 2 points. To find my slope, which we represent with m, I'll do y2 minus y1 over x2 minus x1, which would be -4 minus -7 over 8 minus 4. That gives me 3 over 4. And then my y-intercept, b, is equal to the y value when x is 0. Well, when x is 0, y is -10, so my b value is -10, which means the equation of my line in y equals mx plus b format, taking my m value, subbing it in for m, taking my b value, subbing it in for b, gives me y equals 3/4 x minus 10. This algebraically models the relationship between all of these xy pairs that make a straight line. And now let's go the other way. What if we want to graph a line given its equation? We should start by always rearranging the equation to isolate y so it's in slope-intercept form, the form y equals mx plus b. After that, we'll plot the y-intercept, so whatever the b value is, plot that point on the y-axis, and then use the slope, our m value, which equals rise over run, to find at least one more point on the line. And we'll probably want to plot more than one more point, so we might have to use the opposite slope by reversing the direction of both the rise and the run to create an equivalent slope but finds a point to the other side of the y-intercept. That will allow us to fill the grid with points to be able to graph the line very accurately. And then we draw the line extending through the points with arrows at both ends. So let's try out those steps with example 3. Example 3 says graph each of the following linear relationships. So starting with part A, the first thing I have to do is make sure it's in the format y equals mx plus b, which it is. Y is already isolated. So once it's in that format, the coefficient of the x is our m, our slope, and the constant being added after the x is our b value, our y-intercept. So for this question, our y-intercept, our b value, is -1, which means the y-intercept, the point on our graph, would be the point 0, -1. So I can plot that point on my grid, on the y-axis plotted at the point 0, -1. And then my slope, which is the m in the equation, is equal to -3. It's often helpful to think of slope as a fraction. So any whole number is over 1. So I could rewrite that -3 as -3 over 1. Or equivalently, this negative could be down with the 1 instead of up with the 3, and the value of the fraction would be equivalent. 3 over -1 also has a value of -3. So both of these fractions are equivalent to each other, meaning I could use either one to find me points on either side of the y-intercept. Remember, slope is rise over run. So when using this slope, -3 divided by 1, my rise is -3, and a negative rise means go down 3. So from the y-intercept, I would need to go down 3 units, and then the run is +1. A positive run means go to the right, so I would go right 1 unit. And there would be another point that would be on the line. Notice this point is to the right of the y-intercept. If I wanted a point that's on the same line, but to the left of the y-intercept, I would use this version of the slope, 3 divided by -1. The rise is +3. A positive rise means go up 3. And then if the run is -1, that means go left 1. That would bring me to this point right here. So either going down 3, right 1, or the opposite, up 3, left 1, will get you a point that falls on the same line. And there's actually room for one more point. If from this point, I again go up 3, left 1, I get another point that will land on the line. And I can connect all of those points with a straight line and make sure to put an arrow on both ends of the line showing that it does continue. And now let's move on to part B. In part B, notice y is not isolated, so it's not in slope-intercept form yet. So I need to rearrange this equation so that y is isolated. I think I'll take this -6y, move it to the right, and take this +24, move it to the left, and that will change the sign of both of those terms, giving me 3x minus 24 equals +6y. Then to isolate this y that's being multiplied by 6, I would have to divide both sides by 6. I could simplify 3 over 6 to a half, minus 24 over 6 is 4, equals y. Right, the 6's on the right cancel out. 6 divided by 6 is 1. So this equation is now in slope-intercept form because the y is isolated. It doesn't matter that it's isolated on the right, that's fine. The coefficient of the x is still the m value, and the constant added after is the b value. So my y-intercept is my b value, which for this equation is -4. So I can plot the point at 0, -4 on my graph. And then my slope, my m value, is a half. So I can use 1 over 2, or the opposite, change the sign of both the rise and the run to give me -1 over -2. Those fractions are equivalent values. They're both 0.5. If I start at my y-intercept, and then use this version of the slope, +1 over +2, as my rise over my run, I would have to go up 1 and right 2. And that would give me this point right here that would be on my line. And I could continue going up 1, right 2, and get another point. But if I want to point to the other side of my y-intercept, instead of going up 1, right 2, I do the opposite. Down 1, left 2, which is exactly what this version of the slope tells me to do. A negative rise is down and a negative run is left. So going down 1, left 2 gives me this point right here. So connecting these points and putting arrows on both ends gives me a graphical representation of the linear relationship described in this equation. And then the very last part of this lesson is about horizontal and vertical lines. The equation of all horizontal lines is this form at y equals c, where c is constant, and it corresponds to the y-coordinate of every single point that make up the line. Right? For every x value, the y value would stay the exact same. So whatever that same y value is for all the points, we plug that in for c, and we get the equation of the horizontal line y equals c. And the slope of all horizontal lines is 0. Vertical lines, on the other hand, are of the form at x equals c, where c is constant. Because for vertical lines, the x-coordinate stays the same for every single point on the line. So we can define the line as x equals whatever that constant x-coordinate is. And the slope of all vertical lines is undefined. So let's do example 4, where we write the equation of each of these lines. Well, for this line here, it's a horizontal line. Notice every single point on this line has the exact same y-coordinate. The y-coordinate of all of these points that I'm labeling is -4. So we can define this line as the line y equals -4. But this line here in part B is a vertical line. Notice for this line, the x-coordinate of every single point on this line is always 1. So I can define that line as the line x equals 1. And that's it. That's as easy as it is to find the equation of horizontal and vertical lines. Let's see if we can graph some horizontal and vertical lines. For each equation, state the slope and y-intercept and then sketch the graph of the linear relationship. Well, I'll actually do the graph first. For x equals -2, I know that's the format of a vertical line. For x equals -2, to draw a line whose x-coordinate is always -2, well, it would be the line that goes through all of these points. The x-coordinate of all of these points is -2. And the line that would go through all those points is a vertical line. So there's my line right there. The slope of all vertical lines, which I'll use m to represent, is always undefined. And that's because if you tried to do rise over run between any 2 points, there would be a rise, but there would be no run. So the run would be 0, and division by 0 is undefined. And the y-intercept of this line, well, this line never crosses the y-axis. They're parallel to each other, so there is no y-intercept. But for part B, the line y equals 4, if the y-coordinate of every point is 4, that means it would have to go through all of these points. And the only line that could do that would be this horizontal line here. The slope of all horizontal lines is 0. And that's because there is no rise between any 2 points. So when doing rise over run, your numerator would be 0, making the value of your fraction, your slope, be 0. And the y-intercept, the b value, would just equal the y-coordinate of where it crosses the y-axis, which is, of course, 4, because the y-coordinate of all of the points that make up this line are 4. So the y-intercept, we could say, is the point 0, 4. And that's it. Make sure you go to jensenmath.ca to get a copy of the practice questions that go along with this lesson.
Jensen